happens today. Thank you. How does our approach to delivering ERPsim differ from a standard training approach? Standard training, standard demos, standard introductions generally focus on application knowledge. So what that means is the technology itself. Where to click, what to enter there, how to get to the next section, what my T code or my transaction code should be, right? Very application focused. What we try to do with ERPsim, and this goes back to like that whole participant layer that I was talking to before. What we try to do with ERPsim is integrate that application knowledge, so how to use the tool, the technology, SAP, and integrate that with the individual and the context. What do you, as a person, bring to the gameplay session? What do you bring to the ERPsim session? And what do you bring to an ERP? That includes not only the business knowledge you contain, so how you complete your role, what you've learned over the past 10 to 15 years and an expert in your field, but also the collaborative knowledge. And this is, once again, what I think is really important. That's why I made the cog bigger. The ability to not only discuss what you're doing and to see your role on a team, but to be able to employ the acumen you've learned through your context, through your business knowledge, and so on. And then bringing that together with the tool in and of itself, like the application, we find makes a holistic or competency-based approach to training and development and enablement. Hopefully that makes sense. Any questions so far? No? Okay. What you see on screen is a standard, customized standard technology adoption curve. It's just mainly to highlight where we fit and how our simulations fit, and where the sustainability short simulation fits. I'm having trouble with my S's today. In the overarching digital adoption curve. So generally, when you're looking at digital transformation or the adoption of new technology, you're going through stages, right? First stage, everyone's kind of like, I don't know what this is. Why do we have to change? My tool does what it does, and I've learned how to use it. So you're trying to get everyone like aware, aligned, and try to come under a similar understanding of why are we doing this? Okay. Then as you move up the curve, after you've gotten people aligned and understood, and they know that, okay, this would help us, it could solve some pain points. I just need to go through a little bit of a learning curve to be able to change my overall tasks and processes. Then we can get into more skills development and adoption at a user level, more of the training and enablement. And at the end, we're looking at the whole organization adopting these new principles. The sustainability short scenario is the first level. It's the high level simulation. It's ERP 101. This is what S4HANA looks like. This is how you navigate through the launchpad and how you can complete tasks using the launchpad. And this is what it means in a business or enterprise perspective. So we're really looking at contact awareness and alignment. Okay. We do have other simulation scenarios, as a lot of you know, that focus more so on higher fidelity in concepts. For example, training through the use of our maintenance scenario, or even further, our defense and security scenario, which looks at more customer and role specific simulations. But those are not for today. If you'd like to learn about those, please feel free to reach out and I will gladly sit with you to discuss. All right, so let's get to the nitty gritty of what we're seeing today. A little bit of info on our sustainability short scenario before we move into our Fiori Launchpad, and Zach can do a nice demo for you. ERPsim sustainability is one of our most, I guess, popular scenarios. It's easily run. It's short. It takes about 90 minutes to be able to get to the scenario in entirety. And the concepts are pretty tangible, right? We've all bought energy drinks or water or some form of liquid from a convenience store. So we understand the concept of what it means to purchase something, how we compare prices, and what it means to like have inventory in stock. So it's a very tangible concept. So the sustainability short scenario focus on 4 primary roles, and you will, in teams, assume one of these roles. Okay, so keep these in mind. We're gonna stick you in teams today, and we're gonna assign your role today. I'm trying something different, so let's see what happens. You're either gonna be responsible for sales, so this means competitively pricing your products. So this means making sure your prices compete against other teams' prices so that you can sell more. You will be responsible for marketing. where you can promote your products in 3 regions. So you invest in some sort of product promotion. This is like a daily dollar amount of what you can or how you can go about promoting your products. You will monitor your finances as well as sustainability. So you will look at your net profit, net loss, balance sheets, as well as your sustainability numbers, your carbon footprint. And today, you're going to be looking at success factors as well in that role. So you're going to be given that opportunity. And then planning and procurement. So replenishing your inventory, ensuring that you have enough in stock so that your salesperson can price the products competitively and so on. Okay. So those are the 4 main roles. And this is what the short scenario focuses on. Obviously, the goal of this scenario is to maximize profit. Okay. So you need to maximize profit to win. The one caveat is that there's a balance between maximizing profit and reducing your carbon costs. So if you can figure out that balance in terms of profit and sustainability, you tend to win the game. Okay. This was our attempt in providing visibility, Baton's attempt at providing visibility or a window into the world of what sustainability or the green ledger could offer in terms of SAP S/4HANA and our simulations. It's not the be all and end all of the sim, but you do get an idea of how you can manage your product base so you can be both sustainable and profitable. Not to get into details, but our carbon footprint costs or our sustainability measures focus on 3 distinct scopes. These are one-to-one with like academic literature and carbon footprint. So there is a real life foundation to what you're seeing in place today. And once again, your goal is to maximize profit with the lowest carbon footprint. From an SAP footprint, like what roles and what transactions and what reports you will see today. This is an SAP overarching footprint for this simulation, sustainability short simulation. I'm just going to go this because I know this is coming. A little bit of info, what you see in like orange, yellow, those are the tasks that you'll be completing as participants. So the person who's involved in the sales process, you're generally going to be interacting with a price market report and a sales order report and so on, as well as your pricing. You will not be looking at the grays. These are what we've automated in terms of those administrative or clerical tasks in the back end using our simulation engine. So you can focus on the orange. Those of you involved in the procurement process, you'll be focusing primarily on like ordering stuff. So you're going to be looking at converting POs and tracking those POs. Good receipt, billing, and payment has been automated for you in the back end. Okay. Finance, looking. Yes.
We have a hand.
Yes.
Sorry,
Javier.
I want to interrupt you. Thanks for the explanation. Just one question regarding machine learning. Do you have any Joule Copilot development, or we will have the alerts in the bell in the upper part?
So there's for machine learning, you will be provided with the system-based notifications that you're referring to, the robot assistants, through the bells on the top right-hand side. But we've also included now natural language GenAI chat support that you're going to be using today as well. Does that answer your question?
Yes, just a little bit. In the future, you plan to have Joule Copilot as part of the ERPsim? Sorry, but I have to ask.
That's a good question. Al, you want to take that one for me? You there?
Hello. Yeah, I'm here. So this isn't Joule, but it uses the same underlying technology that Joule uses. You know, we're delivering this via BTP using the same LLM, and we're essentially creating this to create different examples of what you can accomplish with machine learning and Gen AI. As we all know, in the SAP ecosystem, depending upon what type of S/4HANA license you have, public cloud, private cloud, the nature of your relationship in the RISE program, you have different, what Gen AI use cases are available to you varies based upon your implementation. So that's why we didn't brand it Joule, because this is meant to be a representation of what you can accomplish with Gen AI, and then customers and organizations can look at their specific S/4HANA implementation and understand what Joule capabilities are available for them to take care of in their specific implementation, so that we're not creating a promise of what you see in ERPsim is what's going to be in your SAP implementation.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks for the explanation.
Yeah, thank you, Al. And sorry for putting you on the spot, but I like hearing your explanation versus my own when it comes to Joule. So this is the SAP footprint, what you will be doing in the orange or yellow, and what the system does in the background in the gray. Okay. Go back here. Oh. For today, we're focusing on 2 rounds because we want to make it the teaser experience, 90 minutes. First round, we're going to give you the opportunity to look at success factors as well as the standard pricing, marketing, and planning and procurement roles. We'll play 10 minutes of that round. We'll let you explore the launchpad in your teams. Then we'll come back into the main room. So this will be done in breakout rooms. We'll come back to the main room. And for round 2, we'll look at the GenAI functionality as well as give you a demo for ISBN or Ariba functionality, which is a window into the Ariba world. Round 3 generally focuses on competing or continuing gameplay. If there are people who are interested in winning, I mean, that's where the true personality comes out. Then we can play a 3rd round and we can let winners take all. So with that, welcome to your new job. You are all, or you've been hired by Project Energy Drinks to launch our new product, our energy drink, organic energy drink, our more sustainable product. And you're part of my ERPsim organization in your respective teams. You're part of my organization and you're responsible for promoting and selling these products in 3 market regions in Germany. So like I said, we're playing 2 rounds. We're going to do 10 days per round and 1 minute per virtual day. So each round will last 10 minutes, not many minutes to make your decisions. So the time we give you to strategize, the time we give you to be able to discuss and collaborate with each other prior to actually starting the simulator and playing, take that seriously. So you are ready and prepared to be able to react to that dynamic marketplace. Like I said, there's 3 regions, and for those of you who are interested, there is 1 distribution channel. And if all things were equal, all teams were equal, and we didn't touch anything, you can make around 22,000 euros per day. Okay, just keep that in mind. So if you're making more than 22,000 euros, you're on a good start. That means you're gaining market demand or stealing it from others. What are we selling? Like I said, we're launching a new organic energy drink line as part of our organization. Well, we're selling 2 products. We're selling a regular extreme spirit, which comes in 3 flavors and which is sourced globally and which has a higher carbon footprint. And we're also selling our organic products because we've decided to increase our sustainability as an organization. And we're selling organic products which are locally produced. They cost a little bit more, but their carbon cost or sustainability footprint is a little bit lower. So what that means is that if we were to balance the sales of both, we could actually make quite a bit or gain quite a bit of market demand by leveraging both sustainable and non-sustainable options. Just some ideas of how this looks in a visual sense. We have our sustainable organic can, travels by train. That's what makes it far more sustainable. Costs a little bit more, but the carbon costs are much lower per order. We have our extreme spirit, costs less, travels by truck though, which means that it's a carbon heavy or carbon footprint heavy. It all goes into our central warehouse when we order it. So every time we run replenishment, it ends up in our central warehouse. Our central warehouse has a capacity, it has a carbon footprint. All this information you'll be able to see on our or in our Fiori Launchpad. And from there, you distribute or you sell your products to various convenience stores. And there's a carbon footprint and a cost associated to that, but it doesn't matter in terms of which ones you're selling to stores. The carbon costs are within this region of the diagram. Okay, that's where it really makes a difference. And finally, 2 more slides. Then I'm going to get you guys in teams and then in breakout rooms, and then we can well then the demo, and then we can get you in breakout rooms. The roles, just to remind you, there's managing, there's pricing, there's marketing, there's procurement, there's finance. So you're going to be in one of those roles. Finance and management we've combined today. Okay, so finance and management, pricing, marketing, and procurement.
Hello, everyone. Just started by sharing my screen here.
Cool.
Um, can you guys see my screen? Is it too small? Is it fine?
Fine.
That's good.
That's good.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you, Cameron, for the introduction. I'll proceed by presenting the Fiori Launchpad and the different roles of the sustainability short scenario. So first off, I'll start with the sales role. As Cameron said earlier, the sales manager will basically aim to come up with a pricing strategy throughout the game to sell off its inventory while remaining profitable and sustainable. So there are five tiles total, and the two tiles the sales manager will interact the most with are the sales overview and the prices inventory. So if we go into the sales overview, we pretty much have an overview of all the data that's linked to our inventory, to our sales, also our prices and our cost. And from there, we're able to make decisions. So I'll just take you through a little thought process uh, of if I had to play the sales role. So most of the time, go into the sales overview. Here, I can see when it comes to my inventory, the number, I have the projected number of days before stock out, and I can see that I've already managed to sell a little bit of the stock of this product right here, and a little bit of the stock right here, and I can see that in about 5 days, the projected numbers of days I will not have any more stock. So I might want to relook at my pricing strategy here. And just to let you know, the numbers here will change throughout the game, depending on the strategy of other teams and how they will change their prices. On this end, I can see that my prices are for this product are probably a little bit aggressive since the system is telling me that in about 7 days my stock will be out. Same thing here. I can also see in my sales analysis that those are the two products that are sold the most. So I can head into the prices and inventory, look at the two products that are selling the most, Extreme Punch and Organic Vivacity, and increase the price a little bit just to see how the market will react. In this case, I'll just increase it of $2 and I will save my sales prices. So most of the time, the sales manager will go through the overview, the prices and inventory, and make decisions depending on how's the inventories doing, how's the sales doing, and communicate with the members of the finance team or the planning and procurement to see how the inventory is doing, basically doing. Next up is the marketing role. So the marketing the marketing manager most of the time works collaboratively with the sales manager. So you have the option to invest in products that are either selling super well or not, depending on your strategy. You will once again mostly use the marketing overview tile and the marketing expenses tile. Most of the time you will have to communicate with your sales manager and see with him which products do you think is a good idea to invest in or not, and from there invest in marketing. However, you have to know that it's not really interesting to over invest in marketing. So you don't want to invest more than 2 or 3% of your daily sales, and you want to make sure that you don't invest in multiple products in the same region, so you don't kill off your sales. So if I had to go through the thoughts process here, I could look at my sales, see that right now, as we saw earlier in the inventory trend and the sales trend, that there's only two products that have been selling pretty well. If I had to do anything right now, I would just leave it as be and just see how the situation evolves, and from there try to invest in different product and see how it can help the company grow. Next up, we have the finance role. The finance role is more of a role where you don't have to do much action, well, take much actions, but mostly just monitor how's the company's doing, how's the sales doing, and from there communicate with the other member of the team to see if there's any different any things we can do differently so that our numbers looks better. So when it comes to taking action, you don't have to do much with the tiles. It's mostly monitoring. Look at the numbers, look at your balance sheet, uh, and make sure that the company is running well. Finally, we have the planning and procurement. So basically, the planning and procurement role is mostly to make sure that our inventory is being replenished. If we're lacking inventory for some products, so we have four tiles. We have the planning and procurement overview, where we can see our requirements for each materials, well, for each products. Um, we also have our inventory trend to see how's the inventory for each product is doing. Are we lacking some products here and there, and make sure to replenish accordingly. You have to know that the warehouse capacity is of 4,000, and if you exceed that inventory cap, you will get well, you will have to pay for the overcapacity. I'm just gonna explain to you how to go through the material requirement planning, and how you can manage to order products once you're lacking inventory. So first of all, you go into the requirements in MRP tile, where you can set up your requirements for each product. As I said, when you start the game, you start with 3,000 units of products, and which is 500 units for each product. And in this case, let's say we want to order 500 of each product. I'm not going to do it because I know this team, I don't know who's going to take over this team. But basically, you set up your requirements. You save your requirements down here with this button. And from there, you execute your MRP run. Once this is done with, you go through the manage purchase requisition, and you make sure that the material requirement planning that you did earlier will appear here, and you make sure to select every one you want to create the purchase order for. And once the purchase order has been created, your products will be delivered to your inventories. So you also have the purchase order tracking tile, where you are able to track whenever your products are going to be delivered, and also track the quantity delivered. So this is pretty much the thing you have to know to go through the experience. I'll give back the mic to my colleague Cameron, who will explain the success factors.
Yes, Zach, you can keep on sharing. I'll just tell you where to go, and you can show them when you get there, just so we're not going back and forth for no reason. So for success factors, it's combined with the finance role. Okay, so business manager is the new role we've included in our short sustainability simulation to give you the visibility into what it's like to integrate from a business or suite first perspective, success factors into our simulation scenario. So Zach, can you go ahead and click the business manager overview, please? This will open up a dashboard, which is success factors. For those of you who are familiar with success factors, this will be commonplace. For those of you who are not, it basically offers you the segue into the various features and functions success factors brings to a suite first, business first ERP perspective. What can we take from success factors to integrate into our ERP scenarios? If you click on the home on the top, please, the drop down,
Sorry.
home dropdown, right next to the SAP logo.
Okay, sorry.
Yep. These are all the features of SuccessFactors. We've chosen to integrate 4: dynamic teams, organizational chart, team objectives, and rewards. Okay, so those are the 4 we've integrated. You can also see those earmarked if you go back to click away from here on the quick actions. Those little bookmarks, team objectives, org charts, recognize, and dynamic teams. Those are meant to highlight which ones are usable from SuccessFactors here in our simulation scenario. So the way we've envisioned the business manager to be played, okay? So this is the finance and business manager that we have today to combine. The way we envision the business manager to be played is more of a management role. Their job is to be able to set up teams and ensure that each participant is completing the role and the process that's associated to that role, right? So if I'm pricing, my job as a business manager, or my job as a business manager, is to ensure my pricing individual is actually doing the pricing and to monitor how they're going about doing that pricing and whether they're meeting some objectives. So how can I do so? First, if I click on the organizational chart, please.
Right.
Okay. You can see where each individual fits into the overarching scheme. So I would be my business manager, project energy drinks. I'm bringing you my sales manager and marketing manager to this new team where we're looking at launching a new project, a new energy drink line, which is a sustainability one. And I'm working alongside another manager who's already set in stone. And we're borrowing their roles and their processes as well in terms of a finance manager and a procurement manager. Okay, so this is the overarching setup. If I were to use SuccessFactors as a demo tool for or a gameplay tool in sustainability short, I would start here and I would use this as my narrative for how we're setting up teams. I didn't want to do so today since we're like it's more of an exploratory experience, but this is what I would use to be able to set up teams and then to discuss what the processes are for each of the roles. Can we go back, Zach? Now, how do we monitor team objectives? Well, if you click on team objectives, within the sim, we've set up, can you expand the objectives themselves? We've set up 3 specific objectives using data that we've collected over the course of our simulations that we've run for the past few years. We've derived certain objectives which would ensure that your team could place within the top 3, depending how many teams are playing. So for the target or the sales objective, if we were able to acquire 1 million euros in total sales by the end of the sim, then we will end up in a pretty good ranking comparatively, okay? So my job as the SuccessFactors business manager is to monitor sales reports and then to populate my objectives here. So I would click on the little 0 there. That's next to the, yep. And I would go and enter whatever amount I need to enter at a regular basis. At the end of round 1, let's say I made 25,000 euros in sales. I would put 25,000 euros there, and it'll give me a progress report that I can continually manage. Essentially, this is a way to ensure that we are extracting information from reports and analytics and using it to monitor our progress. Because we found that there was a disconnect sometimes by how people were interacting with screens and interpreting analytics. So this is one way you can go about to do so. We've set 3 objectives, 1 for sales, 1 for inventory, and 1 for sustainability. Can you go back 1 screen, please? And finally, for those who are doing a good job, to recognize the efforts of your colleagues, you can always recognize their efforts through an award. So if my sales individual is doing really well, I can go and give user A1 a kudos by offering them some sort of reward for their participation. So this, as I said, is just a window into the world of SuccessFactors and that business suite perspective that SAP is promoting in terms of how an ERP can be a one-stop solution. I feel free to explore and to provide feedback and commentary with regards to how we've integrated SuccessFactors. This is version 1.0. We're looking at moving it to like a 2.0 in the near future, so your comments are welcome. All right, so that was, we're on time. That's pretty good. Are we ready to get into our gameplay session? All right, Nura, our breakout room set up. Philip, yes, you have a question.
Question. The success factor integration, will it make a difference to gameplay? Okay.
So the first the first iteration of our integration, we decided alongside the COE, the Center for Excellence with SAP, to not have an effect on gameplay.
Yeah.
Let's bring it in as a way for us to determine appetite for having success factors integrated in our sims. From this point forward is going to be more so of, well, if people like what they see, now we can start manipulating the actual competitive environment so that success factors has more of an effect outcome. So right now it's just a layer to give you a perspective, similar to how sustainability is done, kind of, but no, it doesn't have a direct effect. My long-winded
Understood.
response.
Yeah. Thanks.
No worries. Any other questions or comments? No. Nura, we're set up with breakout rooms?
Yes, breakout rooms are ready, and I sent to everyone the auto login link in the chat so you can
Perfect.
directly access your team.
Okay, so I'm going to, Zach, can you access the auto logon link and show them what they'll see when they go to access their team? So if everyone can go and click on that auto logon link that Nura sent in the chat.
You have, yeah. So when you click on it, you will have access to this page right here. And you basically just click on the team you are part of. And once you click on it, you will have access directly to the Fiori Launchpad.
Perfect. So go ahead and get yourselves in that Fiori Launchpad. If at any time, get yourself into that Fiori Launchpad. We will open the breakout rooms in about a minute once I stop my little spiel here. Once we open the breakout rooms, you'll be pushed out of this room. If at any time you have questions, you can ask for support. There'll be a little ask for help button at the bottom of your screen, and we will come and see you. I'll give you maybe 5 minutes to get acquainted with each other. So say hello, to talk about what your role will be and to strategize for the first round. So let's say we'll start around 53-ish. Okay. How's that sound? Everyone good with that? Okay, so hopefully everyone's in their respective teams. Nura, you can go ahead and open the breakout rooms. Remember, you'll receive 5 minutes to strategize and talk to each other a little bit in the beginning, and then we'll go ahead and start the sim. Go for it, Nura. All right, folks. Very competitive first round. Knowing you all, who you are and how you play.
Poor Philip. I think Philip is disappointed to work with Baton employees because
No trades. We're gonna stipulate that right away. No trades. Well, just you can see my screen. It's not so bad. Everyone is still clustered very well. It's still anyone's game. Team X, that damn Team X, that damn robotic Team X, machine learning team. They're in the lead. Not far off from Team B. Well done, Team B. Uh, I'm not sure who was part of a Team B. Any comments from Team B? What did you do? How did you do it? Who was there?
We
Marco's
don't
team?
want to say it.
Oh, okay.
We are struggling hard.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
We will say it at the end.
Come on, Emmanuel. You gotta share success.
Gotta share. Yep, exactly. Well, it looks pretty good progression throughout the sim. If it was a really bad time, then people wouldn't be as clustered as they are now, right? So that
See?
is at least a good indication that we were able to pick up on the various tasks and processes as the round progressed, which is perfect. Okay.
We will tell our strategy at the end.
Exactly. Exactly. When no one can steal it from you. Looking at some comparative numbers in terms of the end of round results. So this is what we used to be able to rank you guys and to give us a little bit of visibility into how the teams performed. Team X, why did they win? Well, obviously they didn't care about the organic products. So the robot didn't care about the organic products. The margin was quite competitive. I mean, they found the sweet spot between the lowest margin and the highest-ish margin, right? So they were able to position themselves. It was able to position itself quite well in terms of the overarching margin to be able to make the cumulative sales that it did, which are quite high. No investment in marketing, so maybe that's an indication of the nature and state of marketing in today's world, but No investment in marketing. Same with CMC, none in marketing as well, but it seemed to work out well. So my whole comment about the balance, I guess we haven't reached the balance yet, but we're kind of close. We're kind of close. Balance between sustainability and competitiveness in terms of overarching profit. It's not so bad at all. So I'm assuming the reason why we're all here is to be able to play with or experience our new GenAI capabilities in ERPsim. So what I've gone ahead and activated the GenAI feature in our Fiori Launchpad. You'll see it as the little head with the arrow in it. I think that's an arrow, but you'll see it with the little head as the arrow in it, and it'll open up our digital assistants, and you will see the following chat window. Before I start demoing and trying to give you a perspective of what we have. Anybody in the audience use GenAI in ERPsim yet? I know you're all instructors, so has anybody employed it with a participant group?
No.
If so, no? If so, okay, okay. Share your experience, no?
Yeah, just like this is Al. I'd just like to make a comment about this. Baton incorporated GenAI into our simulations before SAP launched Joule. Okay, in our games, we've created GenAI use cases that were helpful for the gameplay in our various simulations. We're showing you here sustainability short, where the GenAI assist can help you make pricing decisions, purchasing decisions. As you know, Baton offers other simulations like manufacturing, where the assistant can help you make manufacturing decisions. We have public sector and logistics, where you have to move inventory around. And so one of the reasons why this is also not branded as Joule is because we have capabilities in the game for GenAI Assistant that aren't available in the production systems of SAP. Because the purpose of this isn't necessarily to sell the capabilities of what Joule can do in the SAP world. It's to start a dialogue with users about how using GenAI can benefit their organization. And fundamentally, what you can reinforce is that the GenAI assistant that is in the ERPsim games is provided by BTP using the same underlying technology as Joule, right? So I just want to bring that up again. And essentially, and just like with SAP with Joule, it's a responsible AI that is focused on business context. So the questions that we've pre-programmed, or the questions you ask, just have to be relative to this specific game or to the business context. If you ask questions that are kind of outside the business, the digital assistants, just as Joule would in SAP, would tell you, I don't know the answer to that. Because it's only meant to work with the data within your business, because that's what you can control, and that's what business users need.
Great. Thank you, Al. That's a perfect explanation for it, of how we've integrated GenAI into the ERPsim scenario. So as Al was speaking, I was clicking around on the preset questions just to show you what interaction is like. And I was also trying to highlight the entering of erroneous questions or something that's not related to our simulation scenario. So you do have informational use cases embedded, which is like, what is the goal or how do I do something? You have the navigational, where can I go and get things? Where can I find things? Where can I find this information? And you also have the transactional in terms of what prices should I sell it at? Can you acquire inventory for me and so on. So anything's game. A little bit of advice when it comes to using or inputting your own queries. Try to use qualifying terms like optimal or maximize or best to be able to enter those queries. And don't be afraid of combining prompts. So can you price my materials, procure my inventory, and market my products in this fashion, or using this strategy to promote more organic or sustainable options, for example. That would give you a good experience with what it's like to explore our GenAI. One more thing before I let you go explore the GenAI for the.
I think George has a question.
Yes, George, go for it. Jorge.
Okay, thank you. The question is, what we have to process notifications, which are, let's say, first level of machine learning, right? To give us some information of what we should do. On the other hand, we have this AI, which is more conversational. And okay, let's put it this way. In a game with the pressure of time, we are losing probably more time using the AI than going after the process notifications and trying to solve things with the process notifications warnings. What do you have to comment about this?
Okay. From a facilitator perspective, the way I've introduced notifications in GenAI, I try to do it either or. So I start with usually round one, let's say there's nothing. Round two, we do our machine learning process notifications. And round three, we focus solely on GenAI. So separating the experience so people can compare themselves. To go further and respond to your question, once you're able to actually create a meaningful and complete prompt for the GenAI, there are some scenarios where you can play the entire sim through one prompt. I'll give you an example. In our public sector scenario, you can set your allocation plan, procure your inventory, transfer your funds, all through one prompt. And that is actually speeding up the process in a way.
Okay, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
I think that from a point of view of using the ERPsim for education, for instance, of new users to the system, or even in a sales scenario from a SAP point of view or from a SAP partner point of view, I think that using in the way that you described, so by phases, let's say, it will be very impactful. In the scenario where we are, let's say, more in the gamification of the ERPsim part, then the question of time puts this have put me this question. Okay. But
Exactly.
Thank you for the explanation.
Oh, my
Great.
pleasure. My pleasure. And just to give you an anecdote, I delivered the public sector session recently for the EU Commission in Germany.
Okay.
And
Wow.
I took the exact same approach that I mentioned previously of round one, nothing, round two, machine learning, round three, GenAI.
Okay.
By the GenAI round, all roles collapsed. There was one person who was creating the prompts, and everyone else was standing around that one person telling them what to do. And one of the directors of some monetary institution looks at me and he goes, "This is exactly like construction workers. One person's working, four people are watching." And for me, and it became enlightening to see them because they would play the entire round all through the prompts, and it was just one prompt, one team's prompt competing against another team's prompt, and the better prompt won, which was fun to see.
Good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, folks.
Philip
Philip
too has a
has a
question.
question.
Oh, go for it.
Yeah, just
I don't see anyone.
I've got two quick ones. One is, do you activate it on the console? Because I really forgot about the GenAI function. And can you do it wherever you like? Do you have to do it in advance, or can you just go in the game and say?
Good question. So I should have showed this to you because I actually did it, and you're all instructors, so why not? So in the Simbot tab of the console, you'll see the GenAI chat is available to you. It's available whenever the sim is paused. Okay. So either pre-round, during game, wherever it is, the sim just has to be paused for it to be able to show.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how does it work with languages if you have a non-English language set as the game language?
It actually works pretty decently, pretty well. Guy was telling me, I'm bad in other languages, but Guy was telling me that he interacts with it in Portuguese, and it responds in Portuguese. So
Okay,
if you would like to explore that feature or function and let us know how it goes for you, Phil, if you have a second language you can try, please do.
So I'd like to say something about the language. So when you're playing so our primary language is English. And as you know, each user can select different languages to see play the game in, you know, French, German, Portuguese, Chinese, Japanese, what have you. And then also the questions, the predefined questions for the GenAI assistant will be shown in the language that you've selected to play in. But what's also interesting in our game is if you're playing in English, and if you were to write a question in Spanish, the GenAI assistant is going to respond to you in Spanish. So even if you're playing in English, so let's say English is your second language, and you're starting to struggle, and you're like, I'm not sure what to do. So I want to pose a question in my primary language to learn how to do something and how to navigate to a report. If you ask the question in another language, you're going to get a response in that language. So, and also I want to say with GenAI, typically when people are using GenAI in ERPsim simulations, you're not turning it on for participants to play in the first round. You know, ERPsim is best as a progressive experience, right? Having people to learn the roles, to understand the reports, to react to what they're getting from ML. So oftentimes when people are using GenAI, it's not even turned on until round 3. So you can give people some context because you want people to master other things first, right? And then frankly, if you play more than 3 rounds, you can have some people then say, do what Cameron was talking about. Let me ask more complex questions where I can potentially combine things that I need to be executed so I can gain advantage, right? So because if you know with ERPsim, if you give participants too much information to start, they don't know where to begin, and then they may never catch up again, right? So you have to make it progressive.
Good points, El. Very good points.
It looks like it worked for Marco in Croatian.
Cool. Croat bot. It's fun.
Yeah, worked.
Awesome. Okay. Any other questions? No? Oh, Ariba. If you'd like to see Ariba, let me just quickly see here. Ariba, we've hidden. I'm going to have to execute MRP for this. That's okay, though. You can re-execute MRP yourselves. But Ariba, we've hidden. If you'd like to have a glimpse, it doesn't have an effect on the overarching gameplay. It's merely, again, how can Ariba be integrated into ERP? If you go to the manage purchase requisitions that you create by running MRP, and you click on the assigned supplier of any of them, it'll open an Ariba page. Should open a Ariba page. There we go. So we have an Ariba dashboard, which offers differing analytics, very much Ariba fashion. And then you can also drill down into the company profile. So once again, it's merely for exposure to what Ariba can bring to ERP. All right, Noura, you ready with breakout rooms?
Yeah, we can go.
Perfect. So feel free to open the breakout rooms. Everyone, good luck. Final round. It'll be over in 10 minutes. Feel free to play with the GenAI, have fun, and looking forward to your comments after the fact. Noura, let me know when everyone's back since I can't see anyone.
The multi-language agent is well, Philip is amazed. I asked questions in French. I'm assuming he asked questions in German. And...
Nice. So anybody would like to comment? First impressions? I heard maybe Jorge was trying to say something.
No, I'm looking at the leaderboard and I have a different order of results, but maybe it's not yet refreshed. But this is really interesting, this AI, because as you said, if you do the right prompting, you can win. You can win.
Yeah, you
Not
can win.
not pausing the game, not changing the prices of the others, but
Good. I'm happy that that was the experience that you're able to extract from it. That's good. Appreciate the feedback.
Yeah,
Um,
good for us to know that.
but
yes.
one question. When we put this prompt like set the optimal price, it means that the bot is looking at the prices also from the other teams, which it's not correct, let's say, or am I mistaken?
It's using the analytics available to that team, so it's going into the competitive analytics in the last
Okay.
row to be able to determine competitive prices. So it's not really looking at the other teams, but it's using what's available to you.
It's using like we can use the tile in the bottom, right? For
Exactly.
making the analysis. But is it doing it in real time? Because in the tile, it seems it's only 5 days to 5 days, right?
It's doing it in real time. It should be using the data that's available to it.
So it's not, okay, so it's more efficient than
Yes.
using the tile.
Yes. Yes. From
Okay,
from a user perspective, yes.
yeah, because the tile is only from 5 days, the
Yes.
monitoring. Okay,
Exactly.
right.
And it requires like the setup and the filters to be associated, and so this is an immediate result versus having to go through the tile.
So let me just ask you another thing that,
Yes, go for it.
related. So the digital assistant, the AI, will be standard from now on in all versions of the ERPsim that you make available?
Yes. The GenAI is available in all our scenarios, in all our standard scenarios. What I ask of you though is that when you provision a scenario, when you ask to be set up as a facilitator, you just ensure that you mention you want to use GenAI, just to make sure that we offer you the capabilities on our end.
Okay.
We'd like to have people experience and have this discussion with us with how to present our digital assistant and the comparisons with like SAP tools and so on, just so we have common like terminology on how to present this to clients and customers and so on.
Okay. But
But
anyway, as far as understood, we can choose when we activate it, right? So
exactly.
okay.
You can choose
Great.
at any time through the SimBot tab when you want to activate it, before game, end game, even after a game is done. It's up to you.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for the great feedback. Anyone else before I just show you one last thing and let you go?
I have a question.
Yes.
So in terms of the integration with SuccessFactor in maybe Ariba, so I know in this sustainability shot it has this integration. So how about other scenario such as manufacturer shot or maybe distribution?
Not yet, but soon we're going to be looking at other scenarios where we can integrate SuccessFactors. That's going to be our next development roadmap with the SuccessFactors team. So you'll hear by mid this year of any updates with regards to that, but not yet. Only sustainability short.
Okay, that's good because we now have a marketing event or what we want to leverage it to also make some more experience by maybe business suite or with GenAI. So it's good if we can apply it in another let's say my manufacturer or something like. So look forward to it.
Cool,
Thank you.
great. It's good to know that manufacturing is up on your list with that. If you
manufacturer shot is the one maybe we run require most among in GC.
Okay, so I'll keep that in mind when we start developing our proof of concepts for new scenarios and SuccessFactors. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. One last thing. As facilitators, you're our bread and butter. You're our hearts of what Baton does. You're the ones who deliver our simulations, our scenarios to clients, to customers, and so on. So I want you to be prepared and have everything available to you so that you can make the best use of our GenAI and whatnot. We've included a log for the GenAI under more, if you have a small screen like me. you can go and you can click on GenAI log, and it'll open up all the queries that were prompted by your users and participants during the simulation session. Okay, so I have all the a record of everything that was happening. If I scrolled through, I could probably find Philip's pausing of the game. That would be good to know. But all my questions are logged here. As an instructor, this is informative in a number of ways. I can use this to be able to determine where there are holes in my introduction, in my explanations, where participants are lost, for example. And then I can attest to that over the course of my discussions and so on. And this is populated in real time, by the way. You can always refresh the screen and populate this. But I can also look at questions that were rated either positively or negatively and comment on how or what these questions meant for my simulation session or my gameplay session. For example, if I can find one where it says, sorry, so this query was, can you tell me the price for CCB04? And the GenAI wasn't able to find a response. I can go, and this would help the Baton team immensely, because then we can look at why these questions were not resulting in a positive response. I can go and click a thumbs down, tell it doesn't understand my question, and say price for product was not displayed.
Is it
But
the
I
same
think
team though?
I think that question was made by Spires.
By
Spying.
Spires. Okay. Let's
Yeah.
assume it wasn't made by Spires.
Mm.
This is how I could submit feedback to the team, to the Baton team, and help to train our generative AI, because these rankings are essentially what we use to be able to better our responses in the system.
Yeah, I'd like to add something else to this. So as participants are playing, when you turn on GenAI, and participants can choose to like or dislike a response, and they could provide their own comment. Okay, but you as facilitators in the game controller can go to this GenAI report. Not only can you see what questions people are asking and how they rated the responses, more importantly, you can look at what they liked and disliked, and you can change the rating from like to dislike, and you could edit the comments or you could add new comments. Now, and I'd like to tell you that as facilitators, you're going to have more knowledge about how the game is supposed to behave. So if a participant disliked a question, but you know that the response is correct, but they just didn't understand it, or you address the concern in your debriefings, feel free to change the answer, because the purpose of this is for us and the development team to understand what do we need to improve in the GenAI assistant or in our documentation. So feel free to edit what participants do. And obviously, because that would be helpful to us. So I just want to let you know you can do that. And of course, we look at, Cameron and I look at these GenAI logs every week to see what's happening. But obviously, if something happened to your game that created a significant problem, you're always welcome to send us an email immediately to support, and we'll look into something right away. But generally speaking, Cameron and I are looking at these logs once or twice a week. But if there was something that was very problematic for your gameplay that you want to bring to our attention, please let us know.
Perfect. Thank you very much Al for stepping in there. Marco, you look like the evil genius with the cat on your lap. That's hilarious. Oh, Doc, nice, even better. All right, folks. That's, if anyone has any comments or questions, feel free. Other than that, that was the show for today. I hope you were able to gain something out of it. And if you'd like to meet smaller, like just with me or Al or anyone, please let us know, and we'll set aside some time to be able to review other scenarios or other features. It was a pleasure, as always.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very
Thank
much.
you,
It was
everyone.
great.
Thank
Take care,
you.
guys.
Congratulations.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Bill.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye, guys.
Bye,
Baton,
man.
thank you very much.
Yeah.